Hey guys, what's going on? As we settle down into this little lull, this 24-hour period in between when Season 4 ends and when Season 5 starts, I wanted to look forward a little bit, mostly because of a tweet that I saw yesterday. So I want to talk a little bit about Rampart, and then I want to talk a little bit about the Apex games as a whole. Now, not the video game, but the actual blood sport in the video game, and kind of talk a little bit about what's going on with how they're choosing legends, if that makes sense. It will once we get further on. Now, as previously promised in an earlier video, I will not be going into detail about leaked abilities for Rampart or anything like that. I'm going to reference one of them, but that's really it, just to kind of elaborate on a point. But that's enough rambling from me, so let's get right into this. So the original tweet that I saw that kind of got me interested in this was one by a guy named the_Soom, and he posted a picture of the drill from the new quest mode that's coming tomorrow. It could be possible that they're going to reuse this drill asset for Rampart's turret. Now, he is going to have a heavy ammo turret that he's going to be able to place down and pick up, kind of like Tachanka in Rainbow Six Siege. And when I say he will have it, I mean that's what the speculated data mined information says. So take that with a grain of salt. That could definitely change at any second. In fact, that might even not be the case anymore as I'm saying this to you. But it's a cool idea. As you can see, I have a picture of the concept art for Rampart that was leaked from a picture of the Apex developer building. So yeah, just a little bit of cool speculation there. But now let's talk about who is Rampart. So if we go back like a while back to the lore that we were getting on Twitter from that Apex Outlands TV shabacle that went on earlier in Season 4, there was a series of messages between Hammond Robotics and the Syndicate where it's confirmed that Rampart should have been the Season 4 legend. So if you read it, and I'm going to have it up on screen for you, it says, "What about the other guy from the qualifiers who came in second place behind McCormick being Forge? Newcastle, the rules say he's next in line." As Shrugdle pointed out on Twitter, link to him down in the description, Newcastle is kind of like a pun, it's a play on words, that's the guy's actual name, but Rampart is his legend nickname since it's like a fortification of a castle, ha ha ha. Which begs the question of why was he not the Season 4 legend? And if you keep reading that, there's actually a couple more pieces to it that were posted in the same image, but also ones that were posted later on. And basically, the reason that Revenant was put in and not Newcastle is that Hammond Robotics had no idea what to do with Revenant, and so they just hid him inside the Apex games. So now, my question right now is, what's up with Loba, and why is she getting a spot in the Apex games and still not Newcastle? This guy is like literally waiting seasons after coming in second place in the qualifiers. It's like the equivalent of coming in second place for an Olympic event, and instead of moving on to the finals, the judges just pick some like random criminal from the crowd and he takes your place in the finals. But not just once, twice. So I think we're gonna find that there's a little bit more going on with Loba. I think she's gonna have some lore, and I think eventually we're gonna see that Hammond in the end just wants Revenant dead. They don't want to deal with him anymore. So maybe that could potentially be why they're letting Loba into the games, because she's trying to figure this out. Now, I think it's very shallow to assume that the Syndicate don't know the true identities of almost all, if not all, of the legends. They talk about how they know that Caustic is Alexander Knox. And in a couple of the loading screens, it shows that even while in the games, Crypto is being watched by members of the Syndicate, like guards or whatever have you. So I think that they definitely know who Loba is, especially Hammond, because if they have the kind of technology that would allow Revenant to just look at her and know who she is, even 20, 30 years later, then they definitely have that same kind of technology at their disposal all the time. So just really interesting stuff. I've seen a lot of people speculating that Valkyrie will be the Season 6 legend. Obviously, it's way too early to tell. I'd say you got about another 2.5 months before we can tell who the next legend is going to be. I just wanted to talk a little bit about who Rampart is, because I'm sure you guys are going to be hearing a lot more about him in the coming weeks. I think there's really going to be a pretty big divide down like the center of data miners and content creators on who they think is going to be the next legend, because we have two very viable options. So I just kind of wanted to lay out the facts and give a little tiny bit of speculation and theory. But that's going to be it for me for this video. In about an hour, you can catch me live streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, or maybe just YouTube if I can't figure out how to get it to work. But I should be on both if all goes according to plan. But until then, or until tomorrow, take it easy.